Now, we could talk about the negative effects of social media all day, right? Like how social distance started with social media. Or we could talk about how it's had some positive effects. Like before social media, I wasn't able to have a connection with celebrities like we can today, like we all can today. You know, like those random dancing videos that Kevin Hart makes in his kitchen. I think that's cool. It's funny. It makes me laugh. But it's not my job to sit here basically and convince you whether social media is good or bad. I feel like a lot of us are allowing social media to play us, but that's just because we don't know the rules to the game. And I could give advice like turn off your push notifications, make connections in real life. But what if there's a way that we can manipulate this social media game for our benefit? So yeah, we are going to talk about how to unplug from social media, but I wanted to take a different approach. So we're going to do a little reflection, talk about how to manipulate the effects of social media, and then use that to find your balance. I'm not going to convince you why you should unplug or disconnect from social media. Instead, we're going to do a little reflection as to where you are right now and your own reasons as to why you want to unplug in the first place. All right, let's start with where you're at right now. And I'm basically just going to ask you three questions to help you figure that out, right? And that's what are your priorities? What are your interests? And what are the top 5 traits that someone must have in order to vibe with you? Next, we want to get into why you even want to unplug in the first place, right? So, you want to ask yourself, what are some of the emotions that I've been experiencing as a result of social media? And then, what are some of the potential benefits of disconnecting or decreasing your screen time? And those benefits look different for everyone, right? Me personally, I wanted to decrease my screen time because that was just restricting my creativity. Mindless scrolling just isn't productive, and nor did that allow me to be in my natural element. Now that we've taken a moment to reflect on our current state, now it's time for us to gauge the benefit of each platform. And it's really simple. Either they serve a purpose or they don't. This will help you to gauge which platforms to keep, delete, or at least limit your consumption. And what you want to do is take a moment and refer back to who you are, your own priorities, interests, and vibe. And basically ask yourself, does any of these social media platforms benefit your priorities? Do you follow creators and people that interest you? And is the content that you consume or the people you follow, do they complement your vibe? Which then leads me to finding your balance. Now, if you can't identify a platform that benefits your priorities, then that definitely serves as a good starting point for what to either delete or consume less of. And then next, you want to pay attention to the people the content creators, and just the overall content that you're consuming on these platforms. If that's something that doesn't complement your vibe or something that interests you, then that's something that you can change. So unsubscribe, unfollow, and then search for new creators or people who do complement your vibe and consume more content that interests you. The key here is to just find some sort of balance. You know, once you're able to identify the problem, then you can actually solve it. So the whole process, the whole point of this is to basically help you pinpoint exactly where that problem is, exactly what platforms that you're having issues with. Then what I would suggest is setting boundaries for yourself. And this process will basically help you progress from consuming social media multiple hours a day to slowly decreasing that over time and removing the app or even deleting your account if you feel like it's necessary, right? But if you can't abide by your own boundaries that you set for yourself, then you know that you're not ready to delete that account or remove the app. When it comes to setting boundaries, what you want to do is have a morning and evening routine. Unless you absolutely need it, I will place my phone in a separate location when I'm working. No phones at the dinner table. You know, these will basically help you engage moderation and self-control. And if you're a creator, then probably deleting an app is, maybe not an option. But what you can do is have healthier relationships with social media by following this process and setting your own boundaries too. So, in addition to the previous suggestions, what you can also do is set a time for yourself to actively be using social media, meaning for work purposes. And then, in order to limit some of that passive usage, just setting an evening and morning routine will help limit some of that, because you're not starting your day or ending your night with screen time. But I hope this made sense. If you have anything you want to add or any questions, definitely make sure you share your thoughts or your questions in the comments. And if you vibe with my content, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next one.